Mr. President, the first question for you. After the blows of justice to Druzhba and your conversation, and your request to Donald Trump, did we, and you, accordingly, have more leverage over Viktor Orban, in particular, regarding his lifting of the veto on the opening of negotiation clusters? Therefore, do you have a more positive expectation that in September Kiev and Brussels will be able to open the first negotiation clusters? My second question, for Prime Minister. Can you tell us more about the joint production of drones? When can it start? Where will it be located? Only in Canada, or also in Ukraine?
Thanks. Then I'll start. I will start very briefly, since there are certain military moments of confidentiality and mystery. But I have to say that we discussed it at a very long time and in detail. Both in Canada and in Ukraine, this production will be located briefly. And it can start right now. We understand the immediate needs, urgent needs of the Ukrainian armed forces, and as partners of Ukraine, we work directly in joint production, of which you spoke. And also, more broadly, by purchasing drones from other sources, we will support production here in Ukraine. And part of what we talked about with the President and the Defense Minister is the ability to respond to other needs. The whole package, $2 billion, is what we are providing so far. And in addition, we have a certain flexibility for Ukraine to choose what it needs right now. Thanks.
We have always maintained friendship between Ukraine and Hungary. And now the existence of Druzhba depends on Hungary's position. Thanks.
Last question, please, Canadian press.
Good afternoon, Canadian press. My question to both leaders. Mr. Prime Minister, you said that Vladimir Putin is not ready and not trustworthy. Are there any security guarantees that can be obtained now if we cannot trust him? Which does not mean the introduction of troops into the territory of Ukraine.
I'll try to follow the lead of
I will now begin to act like the President. Tried to be very short. We understand in Canada that it is not very realistic that only such security guarantees will be realistic for Ukraine. We understand that we need to develop the armed forces of Ukraine and we need to support them. That is why the members of the coalition of the willing are now working so closely with the United States. And in order to build muscle on the skeleton, as they say today, we need to do everything to restrain it. That is why we are talking about introducing it. This is not enough. It is imperative to support the armed forces of Ukraine. This is not an ordinary army, many very courageous people, but there is no balance and has never existed between Ukraine and Russia. And it is necessary to strengthen the armed forces of Ukraine with security guarantees, a coalition of willing. We also hope that the United States will strengthen these guarantees in the necessary way for Ukraine. Thanks. The press conference is over.
Thank you very much.